in this moment. I'm giving you, because guys, when God shows you something, and this is interesting because somebody was talking about this in another live that I had. They were like, okay, so you have this revelation or you're having these dreams for what? What is it? How is it helping? God gives us dreams to give us instruction, to explain something, to continue a conversation, or to start a conversation that he's already started with you. Like, so he knew that this was coming. He gave me a dream 2 weeks prior to it actually happening for me to know this is the position you need to be in. Yes, the opposition is coming. Yes, you're going to see something that's going to make you want to give up on what I'm calling you to stay in, what I'm calling you to move forward in. However, I need you to know I've seen this. This is what this actually means. And this is the instruction on the other side. God used it to give me instruction and to have a sense of understanding that I wouldn't have just by seeing that. If I just saw that, I would just be like, oh, I'm out. Because that's a Sam thing to do. Sam is out, right? God in this season is giving me instruction to stick in, to dig my heels in, even when I'm uncomfortable. And these are things that I was not taught by my family. My family didn't teach me to stay and to make it work and to do. No, God, I was not taught that. What I was taught was, there's a certain level, right? And so God has connected me with women that are stayers. And he's teaching me to stay. And I will say, in this situation, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what, like, after what God has shown me and what process I've gone through in the last 9 months, I don't see a situation I could ever leave after this. Like, this right here, God is really, you gonna stay. And he's making sure of it. Like, he's putting me in a position where it's uncanny that I'm still in this process. It's uncanny that I'm still here and I'm still, riding along beside him. But he's breaking me out of patterns and generational tendencies that I'm not going to pass down. And it's not my family's fault. I understand there's a certain level of strength in the ability to limit access or to take away access. However, I know that in wherever God is calling me to, there's a level of stick-to-itiveness that I need to learn. And so this is what this process has been for. And I know whatever he's calling me into, the next assignment, Soraya, the next assignment that God has for me moving forward is going to require me to have this stick-to-itiveness, that whatever that is, it's going to be there. It's going to stick to it. And I have to stick to it, even when it's hard, even when it doesn't look like I want to run from pain. I want to avoid pain. And God is like, no, sometimes you got to stick to it, even when it hurts. And you can think about Jesus on the cross. That was not an easy thing to do. It wasn't. He didn't waltz to the cross. He suffered. And any form of us suffering in our lives is a reflection of Christ. It's a sanctifying experience. And I know that that's what this has been for me. So moving forward, I go through this process with God, and he keeps showing me the dream. And I'm really not receiving that because I'm hurting. I'm hurting. I'm trying to keep it together. I'm hurting. My daughter goes to bed and I cry out to God. And I'm like, God, like if you're saying if this pain, this experience is for me to let go, like I'm cool with letting it go. Like I don't care. Like I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool. Like, and I struggle. I fight all night long. I have dreams, of course. I have a dream and I try to figure that one out. Or, I've gotten some revelation with that one as well. But I'm trying to figure that. But you can't figure out God dreams without the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit was not my fear and my doubt and all the other feelings I had, I was not hearing God. I could not hear God in that state. So then I go back into prayer. But again, my prayer is like, I'm mad at you. Why would you allow me to experience pain? Like I'm being obedient, I'm doing everything you like. What do you want? Like, what else can I give you? I don't know what else to give you at this point. So then as I wake up, I know that there's a time difference from where I am to, my friends in another state. So I feel led to call the young lady that's in the dream because she's mentioned in the dream. And so I call her up and I tell her what's going on. And she's like, I really sense God is calling you to trust and obey. I'm like, trust and obey? Like, who does what I just did? Like, trust and I'm baby girl. I'm in a whole nother state. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am in a place I've never been. Now again, has God been faithful here? Yes. Has God shown up? Yes. Have I seen the hand of God move? Yes. That's why you see me having a dialogue with God like this, because I know He's real. Even one of the times that I woke up at last night meant to cry, to wail, to scream. Like, even one of the other times was weak, feeble. Like, He knew, Soraya, please. He knew that I would be going through this. He knew that I would be struggling. He knew that there would be weakness. He knew. God had already seen prior to that I would be going through this. So He sent me a dream. But then in addition to Him sending me the dream, he's letting me know, I see your weakness. I see you crying. I see you crying out to me. I see it. Like, and so I knew God was and can make me emotional now. But I knew even in me having and grappling with God and like, God, I don't get this. If this is not what you want from me, please. And I'm like desperately trying to look at my dreams and seek understanding because I don't want to leave the process, because I don't want to get away from God, because I don't want to be out of His presence. I just don't understand this. I don't want to, yes, you showed me this and you showed me this dream, but this, me seeing it in a dream and me experiencing in real life, there's an experience that I do not know how to process right now. I'm keeping it real with you. What does this mean? Because in the dream, I could walk away from it and be like, okay, now that happened in real life, it's hurting me, right? So from that moment on, I call my friend up. I tell her, she says a trust and obey thing. I'm like, but I had to get humbled real quick, right? Because like obedience is for me. Like this is like I've gone to levels of obedience that are uncommon, but my example or my comparison, as I said in other videos, is not me, it's Jesus, right? So I'm going through my mental Rolodex, and I'm like kind of listening to what she's saying, and I reflect. And I realized that, and again, it's still something that I'm processing. It's still something I obviously have made. God has given me peace about the situation, because she had said some things on there that really, she's like, are you going to trust what you see? You're going to trust what God has shown you? Because there's two different types of vision, family. There's the vision in the natural and the vision in the spiritual. And God had given me spiritual eyes for something I would see in the physical. He gave me language before I knew what I would be speaking. And I realized that me being mad at God, although it was not pretty, although it has I mean, my mental health today, especially in the beginning of the day, was not well, but I still was able to function. I even went, and it's funny because I go to another situation and I'm talking to a woman and I'm speaking about the goodness of Jesus, even though I'm personally struggling with Jesus. Like, I'm personally going through a fight internally about what's going on in my own life. I still am feeling prompted to share about who God is to me and who God has been to me. And and even in that was like, that's crazy to me, like where I've come from spiritually to be able to still witness to you while I'm still struggling with me. Right. And so I go through these processes, and as I'm going through that, I call another friend up and I kind of speak to the situation, and I knew that that was like my second and last, like, outsourcing, because sometimes we can do too much of that. I just wanted to talk to someone else, and I spoke to this person, and I was just being very transparent, and there were things that were brought up on the call, because really, y'all, what it came down to was God was using that moment to reveal things in me. And as much as I wanted it to be seen as, oh, like what I was seeing, or blame what I was seeing, and really run away from from the process that I'm in because of what I was seeing, God was using it. What the enemy was using for evil, God was working for his good. And it was for my good, because ultimately it revealed something within me.